Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back on another BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by King Kai himself. How you doing, sir?
Doing awesome. We are less than 2 weeks out, and nothing better than a Montana fight card. Big fight feel, live on DAZN. Super pumped to be here. It's a good day to be the king.
So, for a long time, it was Hefty Bag. Is it still Hefty Bag, or like you're on King Kai now?
We're on King Kai now. I mean, Hefty Bag will always be there. The crowd might even chant Hefty Bag this weekend. Well, next weekend. But that was just a nickname that I used for a while, and it worked, and it was fun, and it was just hard to be marketable, and it's so much easier to market King Kai. So we're definitely just trying to capitalize off the name change. Hefty Bag is still alive and well. If people still view me as Hefty Bag, um, I'll always be the Hefty Bag.
I saw you were dropping some shirts for this upcoming fight with the 3 belts on it, and like your logo is badass. Like I feel like you have the best logo and the best marketing and branding in BKFC at the moment.
Yeah, that's support your local fighter with Matt and Taylor. They actually just hopped on board as my social media guys as well. Like literally, the ink is still drying. So we're gonna see a big increase in what I am doing. But the merch drop, pretty good. There's also the run and shit with the fellas shirt. A lot of people have asked about that, so hopefully we see some of those out in the crowd in for the Montana fight.
Matt from local, support your local fighter is like, you got to have me on the show. You got to have me on the show. And I was like, well, I'll get you on the show, but I gotta do the fighters first.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, the quality's great. He's done everything with the logo and everything, and the little King Kai people are just loving. So we're definitely gonna keep the little King Kai around, and yeah, hats off to him. Hats off to Matt because he's both times in a pinch. He's gonna make sure everybody gets their shirts that gets them ordered. So.
All right, I see you rocking the DL training. I know that's super important to you. Like you love training there. Can you talk to us about the DL?
Yeah, so the DL difference is really just that it's different, and Coach Dylan Lemery, he has athletes, he has amateur athletes such as my girlfriend Dakota Rough Roads, and then he has high level pros such as myself, Brady Heastand, Michael Chiesa, and then he has Olympic level athletes. Stevan Micic, and honestly, I can't pronounce the other guy's name, but he is a heavyweight from Africa, and he is a stud. And Dylan is a very, very, very special individual. He really knows his stuff, and all of us are always ready for our fights whenever we get going. So it's absolutely no sweat off my back representing his brand because it's changed my whole career.
Okay, so you're rocking the glasses. You and I were going to do an interview. You said you had to get the eyes done. Was that for the fights, or like you needed them done anyway?
Yeah, they're for just for the fights. I get them done twice a year now anyway, just because of fighting. So it was just time. I didn't realize that they were outdated, and I got a friendly reminder this morning to get them in. So I got it in this morning. So yeah, dilated eye exam. My lamp that's turned on right here is brutal. So sunglasses on.
As someone who wears glasses, they have a new thing now where it scans your eye, and I think it's like $20 at my eye thing, but like it does like a 3D image of the inside of your eye. It's really cool. So you might have to check that out. And there's no dilation.
Yeah, that would be really really cool. I don't know. I wonder if is that still for a dilated eye exam because I think it's
Mm-hmm.
a exam to dilate. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so you mentioned Dakota. For one, I'm curious why she's not Queen Dakota, to go along with King, but she's going to be fighting on the upcoming the Montana card. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they're bringing prospect amateurs to Montana. There's going to be, a rumor has it that there's going to be six fights on there, 12 fights total on the night, and as you know, yours truly, King Kai main event, Dakota Rough Roads in the Amy main event. She's a Muay Thai fighter. She's done MMA, so we're taking away her kicks, but her stand up game is just incredible. She's one of the reasons that I dominated Howard Davis, dominated Brian Duran, and me and her created a combo that I'm gonna knock Jimmy Rivera out with. So it's gonna be it's super special just seeing our household, a household of champions, if you will.
Okay, I want to get back to her, but you mentioned that you're going to knock out Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy was asked, and he said, "Oh, I see this going to decision." You don't see it going to decision.
It's really hard for me. Like, I don't want people to say, "Oh, Kai's full of shit. He doesn't get knockouts." I have 2 knockouts on my resume, but I've really worked through Dylan Lemry. We're working on my twitchy motions and my power, and we have seen direct correlation with my numbers rising. Plus, my last fight against Brian Duran, I had, even though only like 1 or 2 of them counted, I had like 4 knockdowns on homie. So my power is getting there, and I think this is the fight that we all come to fruition, and I put Jimmy's lights out. Now, don't get me wrong, I welcome a 5 round war. That's not what the fans want to see. The fans love the brutal knockouts, and so if I can solidify that, put him to sleep, and I become BKFC 2.0 is what BKFC is starting to talk about. So um, yeah, I just have to play that fight smart, and not get ahead of myself. But I see the fight getting a finish. Jimmy is as tough as they come, but this is my sport. He came tough as fuck from a different sport. So being able to be a trailblazer for BKFC is amazing. And in that respect, that I'm still evolving as a BKFC fighter. So all these people that are gonna say, "Oh, Kai ain't gonna finish him," I really hope that I really hope to prove him wrong, but you'll never take the dog out of me. So it's like we got 5, 6 rounds if needed. But I do see myself victorious, and that's what I got there.
It's crazy. About a year ago, you and Jimmy and I were trying to hype a fight, and people were saying, "Oh, it doesn't make sense." And it looks like we're the smart ones because that's the fight the BKFC that knew that they wanted to make.
Yeah, and I I'm really grateful for the Brian Duran fight, just because I learned a lot from it. I got to go be into enemy territory and really put a stamp on that I'm here to stay, and it proved that I'm the homegrown talent that Bare Knuckle needs to focus on right now. And yeah, and as much as I would have loved the Jimmy fight, I think that God and the universe just put me on a different route, and that route has now led back to Jimmy. I knew it all along. We knew it all along that Jimmy. I just feel like Jimmy deserves this shot, especially going draw with Howard Davis. Like, Howard
Yeah.
Davis is still getting pushed as one of the poster childs of this sport. So um, it the fight definitely makes sense. It's my chance because he's part of that BKFC 1.0 UFC transplant list, and
Mhm.
here I am, homegrown champion, first featherweight champion. I'm gonna keep this ball rolling, and that's why this fight it has significance. It kind of Jimmy is part of the very semi lat. They're going to keep bringing UFC guys over just because, I mean, it is a good place to end your career. But it puts me above that. It puts me in a good spot.
Let's talk disrespect. You're not in the top five. They used Howard as a backup for the 155 belt. I honestly felt like you should have been the backup over in Spain. And granted, when the Montana card got announced, but I mean, like, you've done everything the BKFC has asked, and like, again, you're not in the top five. You weren't the backup. Like, what's with that, and how do you get the respect?
At this point, as long as I keep getting better every single day and having fun and doing everything right, I will keep winning. And as I keep winning, I take away their narrative, because I can tell you right now that even before even going into the Brian Duran fight, like, they had no want or need for King Kai to be victorious. Like, just based on population density, like, I know that they can probably make more money off of those other guys from Florida. Like, I'm doing my best, but I'm not set on the short term. I'm going to be a global superstar. I'm going to be one of the best to ever do it. But that comes with time. I'm 6 bare knuckle fights and 7 total pro fights into my career. That's still very, very new. So I have to earn my stripes, and I've always loved having to prove myself. But I'm proving myself to myself first and foremost. So as long as I'm having fun, win, lose, or draw, it takes care of itself, and I'm right where I need to be. So.
So generally speaking, it seems like everybody doubts you and you're the underdog. I feel like going into this fight though, you're the favorite. Do you relish that, or would you prefer to, the underdog role, the spoiler role?
I put myself as an underdog every day because I'm just fighting for something bigger than myself. I'm fighting for all the kids that really, really, they all have dreams, and some, like, kids like myself, like, we don't always get that good opportunity. We don't always get
Timber.
we don't always get kids don't always get that opportunity. And I'm from a town of like 55 people here in Montana, and it's really special just to be on this journey. So I just want to represent that, I whether I'm the active underdog or active favorite, just statistically in life, I'm an underdog, and um, that's how I roll. There's always something to prove. Kind of like HD being the backup for 155. Let HD go get that belt. Um, he already complained. He complained behind the scenes to my strength and conditioning coach that he cut too much weight for 145. That instantly makes no that I don't even want to fight him at 145 because he's gonna make some form of excuse, just like him and Brian Durant both use excuses on their fights. And it's just, I'll earn it. And I do think that him getting that 155 title is the quickest route for me to earn my title shot, because it makes sense. I've already dog walked him, so I can do it again. um, but as for now, I'm right where I need to be. They gave me the fight that because Jimmy Rivera is a stylistic clash for me. So this
Sure.
fight definitely got me out of bed. This fight definitely makes me feel like I'm fighting to. I have to get better for this fight. Is how I had to be. It had to happen, and I've done just that. I've gotten better. I've gotten faster. I've gotten stronger, and this is all based on statistics as well. This is not just me rambling. And but it's all part of the process. Anything can happen November 9th, and I accept all outcomes. I've given up all outcomes. It's just go out there, have fun, and be myself. Because once those bright lights come on, I'm a different person, and I love that. I'm able to be calm, cool, collected on the outside, be able to get all my work done. I'm training. I don't feel sorry for myself having to train. I want that knowledge. I want to get better. And I think that's what makes me dangerous, because every single fight that we've seen has been drastically different from me.
You and I had heard about Philadelphia, and I asked you, and you said, "Look, I don't want to be the feature. I don't want to be the co-main. I'm a main event guy. I want to headline fights." So, how important was it for you to do this next title defense in Montana and be the headline?
It really was. It didn't even boil down to Montana, because I think that I can headline almost anywhere now.
Sure.
I think that we were anywhere close enough to Jimmy to make it make sense. So, but I was blessed for it to be in Montana. But it is important. They're pushing me as this guy. They were the ones that released the King Kai narrative first. Like fans did, some fans that connected Dragon Ball Z to myself.
Okay.
Uh, they did it first, and then all of a sudden there was Bare Knuckle released a poster for me and Duran that said King Kai, and like, so if they're pushing me as this, I'm a main event fighter, and it only makes sense. I'm the youngest champion. I'm the first featherweight champion, and I'm really building to be the face of this company. And so it just made sense. And now whenever I go put Jimmy's lights out, if I can get it done how I think I can get it done fairly quick, I would love to call to try to get on. I could do the Philly card now that I got a main event, and
Sure.
maybe I knock Jimmy out in such crazy fashion that the views skyrocket, and then all of a sudden, hey, do I have a main event opportunity? Like, let's make something real happen. I mean, they're obviously going to use the UFC stars, but if they're trying to build BKFC 2.0, you can put all those UFC stars on there, but there's only one king. And that's what I want. So January 25th is really quick for me, but I guess I'm saying that right now that if we get out of here how I think we're going to get out of here, um, I'm open. So
I know coaching wrestling is super important to you. Right now, this fight, I feel like it's in the middle of wrestling. Like, are you still trying to coach wrestling, or did you have to be selfish this year and focus only on yourself for this fight?
I'm selfish, but high school season doesn't start until beginning of December. So I'm going to
Oh,
be in and
okay.
out. We made like a partial move. I'm going to be in and out of Great Falls as much as possible. So I'm going to try to time it to where I can do like a Thursday, Friday practice and then be coaching Saturday type of
Okay.
thing. Really gonna work hard to be here for most of the season. Wrestling is important to me, and even in Spokane, there's a possibility that I take the Humble Team Wrestling Club and just add another branch. We have great coaches that are going to take over for me in Great Falls. I would love to spread the Humble Team because of what we're based on. We just we just want to help kids learn how to wrestle, teach them discipline, and help grow good human beings, because this world needs more of that.
Okay, circling back to Dakota, she's got a big fight ahead of her. Are you going to be more nervous for her, or are you going to be more nervous about your fight?
I have seen Dakota work her butt off. So I'm so proud of her this camp. This is the first camp where um, we up and moved to Spokane for my fight camp specifically. We were going to try to find her a job. Then she got a fight offer, so she got to train this whole entire fight camp. She didn't have a job. She's training like a pro. Like honestly, I love bare knuckle because like they've given me an opportunity to make enough money to make this happen. Obviously, we're not exactly where we want to be, but
Sure.
we're definitely in the right direction. So she got to my point being is she got to put in a pro training camp. She is fighting another amateur that is making her combat sports debut. Because they're both their first times in this sport. Dakota doesn't get her kicks. Um, I it's 90-second rounds with gloves on. I really think that Dakota has made so much progress in both her athleticism, her boxing, and just her mindset that she's going to be just fine. I have no nerves for her. I have no nerves for myself. The only nervous energy I got is like, I don't have my after party planned yet because we're all like, we have 2 wins in the same household. Like, shit, that's gonna be a good one.
Okay, so we had a question sent in. Nick from HKA, he said, ask him about the time that he, Mark Coleman, Jay, Yari, and I were hanging out in Cleveland watching the Tyson fight, and the guy got right in his face and styled his mustache, and how awkward it was for everybody.
That was a good one. That is a really, really good question, Nick. Yeah, shout out HKA. He actually did my girlfriend's shorts, sent out her a pair of puffies to train in because that's what they use for bare knuckle. So super, super happy that Nick is on our team. He's an amazing guy. And the trip to Cleveland, oh my goodness. Not only was it a shit show, I had Matt with us. And Matt was kind of doubling, making sure that I was okay. And I had the belt with me, making sure people weren't getting too close. And yeah, Matt looked like he was about to take this dude's head off. I had no idea how to react. The guy just came up and was like, and I was like, dude, like what? Because at first he got close. I was like, okay, drunk people. Then he got closer, and I was like, oh shit. So then he touched me, and like everybody at the table was like, do you know him? What the fuck? Matt was getting this close. He was this close to saying, I can't let you get close. Bah.
Oh, that's a great story. Yeah, he was like, we were all having fun. He goes, and we all thought we knew the guy, or we all thought that he knew the guy. He goes, and it was awkward. So I'm glad you were able to share that story with us.
That was a good time. That was for the Mike Perry fight. I was at a Buffalo Joe's. I don't know. It's in downtown Cleveland. Nice little sports bar. Yeah, good food. Better food than what I'm eating during this weight cut. I can tell you that.
I mean, you've got it dialed down though, like with the nutritionists and stuff. Can you talk about the mental preparation? We've talked about it before, but is mental preparation is so key to fights. Is that still, like your top priority is like being mentally strong?
I'm actually working with Mindset Mike full time now.
Okay.
We meet once a week, and it boils down. I'm journaling every day, focusing still on gratitude. Because, like I said, um, everybody wakes up and has a bad day. Everybody, you can slip on a wet spot. Like cuts happen. So what we're doing is filling a gratitude bank every single morning. I wake up, and then every single evening I jot down what I'm grateful for, and that's a big part of it. And that's kind of what I've been focusing on this time, just because I've won 3 world titles. I have great backup plans outside of fighting whenever it comes to money and what I want to do with my life. So right now I'm working on free time is what I call it because like I said, I'm already a world champion. Jimmy's still chasing that.
Mhm.
He has that weight on his shoulders. Win, lose, or draw, all I have to make sure I'm doing is having fun and keeping a cruise control. Then the next step of mindset training is, learning how to break people, make them make decisions, make them force them to break. That's why I do think that with my mindset training, it makes it easier to realize that I'm the only one that can break me. You can't break me if you ain't me. And it's just I really believe that I break myself in the workouts every single day that I can. I'm a tough nut to crack, but I think Jimmy's going to be a tough nut to crack, meaning he's had 5-minute rounds. He's been in there with some of the best athletes in the world and come to the UFC. But I'm a BKFC fighter. In interviews, he still says bare knuckle boxing, and sorry, bro, it's fighting. Like, this is different, and I'm different. And yeah, I have youth on my side. We're the mindset's important though. Mindset training honestly is 90% of the game. I say we do so much physical effort and so much little mental effort that whenever you actually put even 50% mental effort towards something, it just things go smoother. And it's helped my day-to-day life. It's helped my relationship with my girlfriend. Like, everything that we're doing right now is to be good humans. And then fighting doesn't define who I am. Like, fighting is what I choose to do. So as long as I'm doing what I need to do outside of it, like, yeah, my mindset is everything, and gratitude is the best out.
You froze on me. Are you still there? Camera disabled. I think you might have got a phone call. Oh, shit. Let's see. Hopefully he comes back. Kai. You should be able to click join again, Kai, if you're still there. Or your phone died. Huh. I'm waiting to see if he texts before I end it. Kai, if you're still here, someone texted and said that Jimmy must have called you. All right. I think we'll go ahead and end it, and then we'll jump back in if he comes back.